Yeah, today we are going to talk about Africa. Why is it that after 60 years and counting that we have had independence, but Ghana shocking its independence in 1957, why are we still, I mean, you cannot point to a single black African country and say that this country is just doing well. Why is it so? Why is it so? Why is it so? So I will be going into this and then I will narrow down with particular reference to the ECOWAS region of 16 countries. In fact, now the membership is 15. Mauritania used to be a member, but they opted out. So at the ECOWAS area, then we come down to to Ghana and Nigeria in particular. Why are we not developed? And I believe we could have been very well developed because I know that there was a time I worked in a place way back in the 1960s. I was a research officer at the research department of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. I was a research officer, so I have been a security and intelligence analyst for several years. And I've come across several reports, suggesting to various governments right from the Afrifa time, up to the time I left the service in 2009. We've been sending these reports, and it happened that I had certain competences which put me at a certain, in some particular special offices where I saw the most sensitive security and intelligence write-ups, which many people who would have worked in that area, you could have worked for even 30 years, you will never see those reports. It can't happen. You could even work and be a director of a department there without seeing what I've used to see. Because the compartmentalization of that area is so tight. We work on NTK basis, the need to know basis. And I was in the most secret of secret rooms. So I've seen quite a lot. But for some days now, we have been having some discussions about the passport office. And incidentally, where I worked, we supervised the passport office. And actually, I was issuing passports. That was one of my mandates anytime I was working outside of Ghana. I was a consular officer, renewing passports, issuing travel certificates and passports, then giving visas. And what Ghanaians are experiencing at the passport office has always been there. And I remember some 40 years ago, we came together and wrote a proposal for something to be done to make things better. About 40 years ago, yeah, I would say so. Or 45 years ago. I remember. These things have been there. Because of because Ghana is what it is, the passport issue will never go away. It will never go away. Let me repeat. I was working my office, supervise the passport office. And I was issued several passports. Many passports, travel certificates, laissez-passés, and all sorts of documents. So I know what is happening in that place. Now the minister went and then claimed that they were Guru boys and that there were some people who have stayed in that office for a long time and that they should not come to the office. They should just go away. You think they will go away and the new group of people who will come will just come and then, you quickly wish away what is going on there, that there is corruption there. It's just as stupid as a woman who will say that the husband, she has caught, especially when you go abroad. I mean, this thing, I don't think it's that much in Ghana and in parts of Africa. But when you go outside, a woman will say that she's divorcing the husband because he was cheating. He was committing adultery. He was cheating on him. So because that, he will leave the husband. How can a human being be so stupid? How can you leave your husband because he cheated on you? I find that one of the most stupid things on this earth. How can a human being? Are you normal? And when they go out, they go and marry somebody. So the other person you have gone to, you think he hasn't cheated before? Maybe the person that you have gone to marry has even cheated with your sister or your mother. But because you don't know, he is better. But when they go, things are always so bad. So it's just the same as this woman saying that people shouldn't come to the office. Some malfeasances have been detected, and she's sanitizing the place. The lady has worked at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. She's just a guest in that Ministry of Foreign Affairs. She's not a career diplomat. She will never know what really happens in that place. She will never, I'm telling you. But suffice it to say, most of the terrible things that happen in the passport office is because of politicians. It's politicians. Most of these things are, I worked there for so many, the whole of my working life at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs was, in that area. It was in that area. It is the politicians who are causing that confusion there. How do they do that? They will ring and tell some of the scheduled officers or even the director of passports that, this man he's my uncle or my cousin. He'll be traveling, please. He's coming, try and issue him with a passport. He's not well, he's going to London for a medical checkup. They do that. So when he tells the director may tell a scheduled officer that, look, this type of person is coming with that. So when you do that, that guy who is that, you see, the work is scheduled all the way down to your young boys. Everybody has his work to do. Some are those who fill in the names in the passport. Some are those who do this, who do that. Now, when this politician has, worked through and gotten somebody in the passport office to do all this, the man who is supposed to go and then ask for one passport will come with 15 passports. He will come with 15. And if you are the scheduled officer, you delay, that the man is not good. The man at the passport office is not good. We have tough officers there. Sometimes the politicians bring these things and they'll keep them aside. And then they'll be ringing, hey, what is happening? What is happening? Well, they try and, so sometimes you have to tell them a story. There are no booklets. There are no booklets. Look, and this booklet matter, it started a long time ago. And we even proposed that if it came to passports, let them just pay in dollars. Let them pay in dollars. Because always, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, will ask for a certain vote, to print back passport booklets. They may put $10 million there to print booklets and passport booklets, travel certificates, laissez-passer forms, and all those things. You will see it in the what do they call that thing? In the budget, that they are voting 50 million cedis. But you see, what people forget is this. Ghanaians continue to do the wrong thing. I keep telling them, don't always say this year's budget is good. Don't do that. We have what we call a budget. A budget is an expectation and a proposal. It is an expectation. The Minister of Foreign Affairs is merely saying that if we get the revenues at the level that we have projected, we will use 50 million to do this. What if your projection is wrong? So they may budget for 50 million cedis, and only 5 million comes. Only 5 million will be sent to you. I'm telling you. Only 5 million. So how are you going to get the booklets? How are you going to repair these things? Those are some of the problems. Look, most of the problems are with the politicians. It's not with the officers there. They can change they can change all the people there and bring new persons. It's going to be the same. And you see, the passport office is a specialized area. You can't just jump in there today and then start working there. It needs a lot of work, and you have, when you are working on a particular situation, there comes a time that you are even spiritually linked with that office. Sometimes you can just take somebody's booklet or somebody's form without even looking at it. Something will tell you that there's something fake and false and some forgery on the form. It's clear. I'm telling you. When you've been working there, you are spiritually open. You are open. You get information. You can just see somebody and know that this person is fake. Look at the number of diplomatic passports that are being printed. So many. Every criminal and idiot now has a diplomatic passport. When we were there, if you were not a cabinet minister, you could not get a diplomatic passport. And let me tell you about diplomatic passports again, especially going to a number of people. When a diplomatic passport is issued to, let's say, a minister, you don't keep it in your house. You do not keep that passport in your house. It is kept at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, at the passport office. It is when you are traveling, then, in fact, if you are traveling even on official business, it is the Ministry of Foreign Affairs who will write to the embassy of the country you are visiting and ask for a visa for you. And they will take your passport there. So you don't take your passport to even, let's say if you are going to the US, you don't take your passport to the embassy. The Minister of Foreign Affairs, we have our protocol officers, they will do that. They will go and get the visa for you. When they get it, they do not give the passport to you. That is how we were working when we were there. You will never get it. On the day that you are to go to the US, they will come to your house and pick you. Then go, you'll be at the VVIP lounge. They have a special place for ministers, cabinet ministers, and other top officials. Then the protocol officers will take your passport through immigration, everything. And then so when they have finished, they will now call you, you pass a special door, they will put you even in a car and take you to the plane. It is when you are climbing the plane that they give the passport to you. When you are climbing the plane, then the passport is given to you. Now you have to go to America. Before you leave, the Minister of Foreign Affairs will send a special, message. We call it ETD, ETA message, the flight number. That so and so is leaving Accra by Pan Am flight, this ETD, that is expected time of departure. They will give it the ETA Kennedy Airport, that is the expected time of arrival in Kennedy Airport. They will put the time and give it to our embassy there. They will go to the airport. Immediately you arrive at the airport, they will meet you. They will meet you at the plane. Of course, things have changed, I know, because of these terrorists and all that. So many movements and so many airports have changed. But I'm telling you what pertained in the 1960s and 70s and 80s and even 90s, when we were working in the system. Now, when you get there, the protocol officers, or in fact, in this case, if they don't have a protocol officer, the consular officer, or some other top officers, they will come and meet you, that minister, and take you to the arrival lounge. When they take you there, they will collect the passport. In fact, immediately you come out of the plane, they collect the passport from your hand. And then pass you through. They will take you through and take you to your airport, to your hotel. And they'll take the passport away and keep it in the embassy or high commission. Depending on where you've gone to. In the case of America, it is the embassy. They'll go and keep it. Things have changed. Because now in so many countries, if you just go out walking around, they can just meet you. The Middle East like this. They can just meet you and ask for your papers. So because of that, now, and then your passport is part of your papers. So you are allowed to keep the passport. So many things have changed anyway. Many things have changed. But I'm saying that you don't know when you come back, when you come back, you are not allowed to take that your diplomatic passport to your house and go and keep it. So one time when the MPP came, I was very surprised that they were asking everybody who had a diplomatic passport to bring. I said, those having diplomatic passport, where are they? You have the list. Why are they not with you? Why should you leave it with them? Why should anybody go and keep diplomatic passport in his house? You cannot do that. You cannot do that. Anyway, so that's my take on that. So the lady, I think she just wanted to make some noise and then started talking of corruption. Some of these people, I don't know what they're about at all. That this is the corruption. People think it is only politicians who are corrupt. They think politicians, but everybody, civil servants, they're corrupt. That is not corruption. That is not corruption, Madam, the lady, the Minister for Foreign Affairs, Madam. Look, there are 3 or 4 types of corruption. There is petty corruption because of need. There is some type of corruption which takes place because of accessibility. Then there is a particular high-grade type of corruption. It's all because of greed. Greed, and that is where the politicians fall. That is what we mean. That is what you mean. If you are not greedy, how can you alone go and pack money, the money in your house? The money is so much you can't even sleep in the room. Your whole bedroom is full of money. It's being stolen, you don't know. It's greed. That is the type of corruption we are talking of. When somebody can go and have 48 million cedis or more, dollars plenty. That is what we mean. Not a need. This person, he stays at Tema every morning. He has to, in fact, the amount of money somebody spends from Tema to a passport office is more than his salary. And then you have come, he wants to help you to get your passport. You are giving him some 100 cedis. Then you go and say that civil servants and public servants are also corrupt. No, we don't call that corruption. So somebody should educate her. We are talking of people being corrupt because there's just nothing they can do. They need it. The child is sick. The food in the house is finished. And then he's helping somebody and the person is also helping him. Then you say that he too is corrupt. But then we have the accessibility. The accessibility is like this. Mostly it is accountants, treasurers, and then people who handle money. Because the money is just around, they'll find a reason of, sort of just turning the money around here and there. And then it takes on. Then there is this electronic, sort of high grade, corruption that is done by systems analysts. The systems analysts, those who are now into computers and all that. Because one day I looked at my account and saw that every now and then some 2 CDs and something will go to a particular account. I said, go to a certain account, meaning that somebody has got to program something so that in your account, a certain amount, when it's 2 CDs, you won't mind. But if it is 2 CDs from 1 million people, can you imagine how much the man is making a day? That's a lot of money. So that is my take on that for the lady at the Minister of Foreign Affairs. The next time, don't go and be bashing people. And that was just the time that this Madam Cecilia Dapastin, people are talking that they take politics. It's because of the quantum of the money that you people steal. Because of that quantum of money. That is why, fingers will always point at the politicians. So don't try to turn and try to point it anywhere. Because some of us were there, we were in the security system. There's nothing we didn't see and we didn't know. But when you see and you know, where is the report going to go to? It's not going to the same politician. Especially this one, you keep it. If we raise this matter to destroy the party, to destroy the party or the government,